B101.7 All the Hits. I'm Greg Thomas. In studio, Ken Block, Andrew Copeland, and Ryan Newell of Sister Hazel.
Nice to see you, Greg, man. It's good to see you, man.
For ourselves everywhere we go.
Hey! Big studio audience. Hey! There's some people back here that can clap.
We do,
Cheer! Yay! There we go.
Yeah.
We're all here. Well, and welcome back to Tuscaloosa.
It's nice to be back, man.
Yeah. I mean, you guys seem like your tours that you somehow find a way to come through here, and that's really an awesome thing. And part of that is because there's such a strong, passionate fan base for you here.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, we never forget where we came from. You know, we started out as a college band down there in Gainesville, Florida, and these cities like this, Tuscaloosa, were the bread and butter for us to, get into the next level. And so we still love to play towns like Tuscaloosa, and Birmingham was such a big city for us, and so many people ended up coming to school here and stuff that it was just always felt like a second home to us up here.
And when you come through, I mean, I know with touring, you really don't have a lot of time to spend in each city, but your visits, I mean, what is one thing? What is your favorite thing about Tuscaloosa?
Well, I like to wander around campus. Whenever we get here, I just zigzag around there and all that. In fact, I think I was telling you guys earlier that when we first started coming here, we were still in a van and trailer, and Drew and I would go to the sorority houses, and we would go at dinner time or whatever, and we'd say, hey, we're a band from Florida, and we just want to invite, and they'd let us in, and we'd say, hey, we're from Florida, we're this band called Sister Hazel, and we'd do this little a cappella, there's been times on my roads. We'd do the whole a cappella bit, and we'd give them about 20 tickets, and that was one of the ways we ended up getting people to come out to the shows early on.
And being from Gainesville, Florida, and then you're in another college town like Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
It was weird at first.
That your allegiance, I mean, just being from Gainesville, you must somehow follow that sport.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
all of the sports.
Well, follow them.
Yes.
I'm not trying to walk in and go, are you a Gators fan? But
no, well, the truth is, 4 of the 5 of us graduated from Florida.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's inbred, and Ken and I are actually from Gainesville.
We're both
so we don't
inbred.
really have a choice.
We're inbred. No, it's true. I mean, we still live down there, but we're big SEC fans. I mean, we have been following athletics since we were little kids, and coming into these towns, it was weird coming in. Of course, Tallahassee's that's an ACC town, but coming out of Gainesville, it was like, do they know we're from Gainesville or whatever? But
it's one of those things.
We love these college towns, right. and for us, we were really embraced by so many people, and I think there's something about that time of your life when you're in college and grad school and stuff, when you attach yourself to a band, there's a sense of ownership that you carry with you forever. And for a band like us who's been around, a year or two, that's really been gratifying. So,
well, talking about the early days and the breakthrough hit, All For You, that song, it was written before the band was even formed?
Yeah, it was kind of an acoustic song that I'd written for there was a compilation CD that like 200 something bands turned in songs for, and it was only going to be 10. And I was in a bunch of rock bands, and this guy calls me up and goes, hey man, you turned in stuff with your band, but I know you're doing acoustic stuff now too. Do you want to turn something in with that? And I go, sure, I'm working on this song right now. I like, when's it due? And he goes, tomorrow. I go, I'll finish it up today and bring it in tomorrow. But it really recorded well, and it was great. And when Sister Hazel started, it was just a great fit for what we were doing with the harmonies, with Ryan's guitar work. It was coming out of kind of a little edgier, darker time in rock, and we were a little bit more optimistic in our music, and it just was a great fit for the band.
Yeah, that was 91 that he wrote the song.
And it was
there's a cool, we put out the the DVD and the live disc recently, 20 stages, and there's some old footage at the end of that that shows us way back in those days, and there's a clip that shows when we were getting it mixed at one of the little studios in Gainesville, and the guy listens through, and you're listening to it's all for you, and then he stops it and hits it out, and he's holding the cassette up, and he goes, good luck with that one. And that's it. And he hands it to us, and it's kind of like, what?
Really?
But it's kind of a cool clip. Anyway.
the band got together in the early 90s, and looking at the timing of like All For You, it was 97 before it became a hit. Was it a song that you guys
we started playing it out about right when we first started touring around in 94. And what was really weird, it was that song and a song called Happy we'd come into these towns and people were already singing them before we got there. And that was tape trading days. You know, people would record shows and then they'd trade tapes and stuff. And we were blown away by that we'd come in there. And then we were, our MO is the same now as it always was. That is, control what you can control. And so we were writing songs that we were proud of, and we were trying to put on a powerful live show and take care of those fans. But at that time, we had to get to radio. So we found a few radio stations in Tampa, Tallahassee, Orlando, Charleston, Gainesville, that started playing that record, and it really connected. And all of a sudden it was moving up to number 5, number 3, number 1 on these radio stations. And all of a sudden the major labels were calling down going, who's this band, that's taking a spot that one of our bands can be using. And when they came to see us, we were selling 500 tickets in towns all over the South, and moving CDs, and they said, this is for real. So there we go.
The big song and the band's name, talking about the early days and all, Sister Hazel, you were inspired by a woman, Sister
an
Hazel?
African-American lady named Sister Hazel Williams, who ran a homeless shelter in our hometown of Gainesville, Florida. And, growing up, it was always like, that lady's helping out people she doesn't even know. And, her mom was like, yeah, that's what she does. And it was our first real look at, service work, or somebody doing something regardless of race, religion, orientation, whatever. She gave people a safe, warm place to dust off and regroup if they needed it. And we started using that name. And then all of a sudden, Drew and I were roommates. And we got a call one morning, and our other roommate goes, man, you're going to want to take this. And he goes, it was Sister Hazel Williams. And I go, hey, I didn't know you were still around. She said she'd been in Haiti and Belize running missions, and that, she came back in town, and her name was up on every club, pub, and coffee house in town, and figured she wanted to meet us. So we met at a Shoney's restaurant, and she said, look, as long as y'all aren't preaching hate, then go out there and have a good time with the name.
So she was honored to have a band named after her.
She was honored. She's in her late 80s now. And in fact, we got a $50,000 5-hour energy drink to donation made to Everyday Heroes to her last year, which was really fun.
It's really amazing that you guys have been together for a number of years, a few years. And because most bands, they get to a point where there's fighting and creative issues.
We hit that.
There's going to be a little
of that. We just made
it
through it. No, we just made it through it.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Really?
There were times, especially 99, 2000, when there was a few years in a row where we were literally on the road for not shows, but we were on the road for over 300 days a year for a couple of years in a row. And towards the end of that stretch, we actually got offered a 13 or 18 date tour with Aerosmith. But we were so fried that we said, no, we can't. We couldn't do it because we were at that verge. Mm-hmm. But we took a break, came back. Everybody put their big boy pants on, and we went back to work. And since then, we've all grown together. We've been, like you say, he and I have been together for 24 years.
Not together.
Well, yes, together. Why, now you're ashamed? And the band, and then the band's been together for as long as we have. We're family. And so we've been through a lot. We've been all the ups and downs in our personal lives. We've been through together, and we're all kind of aimed in the same direction. And it's a really comfortable feeling. And yeah, we still annoy each other every once in a while, but at the same time, man, we love what we do. That's the thing, is we still love making music, and so it's a good time to be out and doing it with guys that you have bonded that kind of a relationship with. So it's good. It's good stuff.
You guys tour a lot.
Yeah.
Still.
A lot.
Yes, we do.
How do you stay motivated? Is it just the thrill, the passion of loving music and the crowd roaring and cheering for you?
I'll tell you right now, it's the fact that we, it took us 5 years between records, but putting out this new studio record has breathed new life in this band. It's fun to get out and play new songs on the road. It's fun to go out and talk about the new stuff that we have, and the writing process was cool, getting back in the studio and grinding it out, and getting back to a lot of these people like you coming to see you and talk about the new record, and so that has breathed new life in our touring world. But we've always enjoyed playing live music together.
And talking about the new album, Lighter in the Dark, and critics have said, oh, they've gone country, oh, this new twist, and I'm listening to the music, at first I had fear. I'm like, oh, is it going to be fiddles and banjos?
Right. No, that was
And
that was everybody's big thing. Is the word seems to scare everybody, but the
like,
truth
whoa,
is,
they've gone country. What?
You go listen to it, and it's another Sister Hazel record.
Yeah, well, let me
It
ask
is.
you. Well,
It
yeah,
is.
what's it
And
sound
that's
like
what I
you?
thought. That's exactly.
like a Sister
It's the
Hazel
same energy and fun vibe that you've always had.
Big harmonies, slide guitar,
right.
big hooks, and
And
you know,
honest songwriting.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
all
be-
about writing songs from the heart. And you know, people, I think the people that try to do that, the people that go, well, now I'm going to turn to this. Well, I think that if you're contrived, if you're making it up and trying to pass yourself off as something that you're not, people are going to see through it pretty quickly. Maybe not immediately, but eventually you're going to get, you're going to get called out on it. This is us. I mean, and it's always been. You can go back to records, previous studio records, and listen through, and you go, man, this sounds a lot like this song. And I can see the evolutionary steps of the band to where they are now. It's so.
Well, and it's funny because we were talking with your buddy Monk over there, and he was saying, "Yeah, I remember just a few years back. Do you remember who opened for you here in Tuscaloosa?" And I go, "Yeah, of course I do. It was Zach Brown Band when they were in a van and trailer touring around." And it was, we all come from this sort of southeastern music thing that, to me, it has elements of rock and elements of southern rock and elements of country and elements of pop music and harmony. All these things. And we never have wanted to just be down one lane. So for us, this record came out. It was the number 12 rock record. It was the number 6 indie record. It was the number 4 country record on Billboard, all at the same time. And we were really gratified by that, to point at, now we don't have to explain it. Now you can see that it's resonating with all these different folks. And it's just really gratifying for a band who's been around as long as we have to connect with people like that.
That Kind of Beautiful, the lead single.
Yeah.
Doing well. Great
Yeah,
song.
Thanks, man. Video's about to hit CMT here in the next week or two.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
That's what I hear. Yeah.
News to me right here, right
News
now.
Right now.
Yeah.
On the spot.
We did a video.
Yeah, we're gonna get some better looking guys to
Am
play
I in
us
it?
in the
Oh,
video.
okay. That's why I don't know about it. I'm not even in it.
Sister Hazel, Ken Block in the studio, Andrew Copeland, and Ryan Newell, the 3 of the 5 guys of the band stopping by. I sure do appreciate it.
Three most important.
Well,
guys.
there you
Right,
go.
right, yeah.
With a show in Tuscaloosa Sunday night, April 3rd, and then the next show, you're going to be in Birmingham on April 21st at
right.
Iron City. So another chance to
We
check
are?
you out live.
Yes, we-
Yeah, you didn't get that
We're
memo.
not going to be at that one. Right.
My Post-it note says that.
That's
See.
a great venue too. That's a big, loud venue. We have a great time playing that.
These guys were impressed by my notes
Your
for this
fancy
for this interview.
filing system of
right?
Post-it notes.
Using Post-it
Yeah,
notes for my
great.
questions and stuff. I have them right here. So appreciate
Bar
you guys.
napkins.
Hey, and congratulations to you, man. Because listen, we've been at this a long time, and there's not a lot of guys that you run into that have been at
same
it as
place?
long as you have at the same place,
Yeah,
making.
it is
good-
unheard of
Yeah,
in this
so
industry. It
congratulations,
really
man,
is.
making a living doing something you love.
Appreciate that.
It's great.
Sister Hazel.
Yay for us! Oh, we got to move.
Frank
We gotta
the Tank.
move. Frank the Tank. Got it.